Everybody is familiar with fight or flight.
Mhm.
I don't know that everybody knows that there's only two modes to the autonomic nervous system. There's fight or flight, and there's rest and digest. And when you're in
Mhm.
fight or flight, that's when you feel your heart beating rapidly. That's when you're dumping adrenaline and cortisol into your bloodstream. And incidentally, cortisol encourages your body to hold on to fat,
Mhm.
especially in the belly. And it encourages you to acquire more, which makes sense from an evolutionary standpoint, because if our ancestors were in a situation where they were having cortisol in their bloodstream, it was probably because the crops failed, because the main breadwinner died, because their village was invaded, because their house burned down, or some
Yeah.
other calamity. So it makes sense that they would have lost their access to food, and that our system would be wired in such a way as to, mitigate that. So
Mhm.
getting control over your nervous system is a huge part of being successful in life. Relationships are going to activate your nervous system. If you're getting into a fight with your wife or your husband and it gets bad, it means both people are in a fight or flight response. And they see the other person as a clear and present danger at the subconscious level. And that's why their body responds as if. And
Mhm.
so for me, when I work with my clients, and when I was working with myself, it was always, what is the root cause? When was this anger, for example, created for the very first time? What was happening? Why did that program get installed? Because if you can find that precipitating incident and you can defuse it, you're essentially rewriting the program so that when it's triggered, you get something that is calm, that is benign, that is neutral, rather than going into this state that everybody that's listening can probably attest when it happens. They feel like they almost have no control over themselves.